Hello, my lovely internet friends. This is definitely like the most nerve-wracking video I've had to make. And I also had coffee today, so I'm like really jittery. I just like need to chill. This video is going to be between the relationship that I have had with a Ravenclaw. Before we start, this is like a little disclaimer. This video is just me talking about what it's like as a Slytherin being with a Ravenclaw and the like dynamics in a relationship. This is not me bashing anyone. I am not going to go into details about why we broke up or like any breakup stuff. I do have the utmost respect for this Ravenclaw that I was with, and so this video is not me talking about, oh, he's a douchebag and all that stuff, because I don't think those things. So let's do this. I'm just going to say that I really do think that Slytherins and Ravenclaws are compatible given the right pair. Although this ex of mine did not take a sorting quiz, there is no question that he is for sure a Ravenclaw. No question. He was intelligent and witty, very wise beyond his years. He was a creative person. He was definitely someone who didn't really conform. He's a very open and accepting person. All that is the traits that Ravenclaws possess, and he has all of them. So yeah, pretty sure he's a Ravenclaw. I'll start from the beginning. What attracted me to this Ravenclaw was his wit. Now, he had this humor about him. He was very quick and clever. He was funny without meaning to be funny. That's kind of what drew me to him in the beginning. I would always be laughing around him. Even though we're not together anymore, I would say it was a positive relationship. It was pretty peaceful for the most part, but there was one thing that I remember being really frustrated about, and it was the fact that it was so difficult to tell him when he was wrong, and even when he knew he was wrong, he could not admit it. Like, not for the life of him, he could not admit it. Like, maybe once or twice he did admit it, but like, for the most part, he would stand his ground. Like, I'm right, you're wrong, no. Anybody who knows me knows that I hate debating. I don't like arguments. I am not a debater. I think it's a waste of time. So I would always drop the subject. Oh, and can I also add that this Ravenclaw, I don't know if you guys know other Ravenclaws that are like this, but this Ravenclaw that I know was good at almost everything, which did come in handy because he would learn very quick with things and he would teach me. Ravenclaws are known to be very competitive academically, and this Ravenclaw was very competitive. When it came to success, he definitely thrived on success and wanting to be successful, as most of us do, but it was to the point where it was like maybe a little obsessive. If he was trying to succeed in something and he felt like he was failing at it, he would be so down. He would like kick himself for it. Now, him being a Ravenclaw, he definitely led with his brain. So as a Slytherin, I lead with my gut. Or if my gut told me to do something that was hard for me to do, I would still force myself to do it because that's what my gut was telling me. Whereas for him, it's like he'd have to do all these equations in his mind about like what would be the right thing to do, what would be the smartest thing to do. That was one of the bigger differences between us. And again, him being a Ravenclaw, he would rationalize things. He was very logical. There was always an explanation for everything, whereas for me, I don't think that. I think that there isn't always an explanation for everything. I don't think life is cut and dry. I think things just happen and you can't explain it. Whereas him, it was more like, this happened because of this, because of this, because of this. So sometimes, like, if we argued, it was kind of hard to find a common ground. Our point of view was different. And that's not always a bad thing at all, by any means. Like, I do think that it's good to have a balance in a relationship. Much like Luna Lovegood, the Ravenclaw that I was with had this way of being blatantly honest. Like, almost embarrassingly honest, and sometimes it would be kind of funny. It was never in a way that was like bullying or anything, but if somebody did something or said something that was not okay, that he felt was not right, he would say it out loud in front of everyone. And sometimes I'd be like standing there like, oh my god, he did not just say that. Yeah, it would sometimes be a little bit awkward, but I did really admire that quality about him, and it was something that I always wanted to soak in. He was definitely the type of person that wouldn't let anybody walk all over him. People knew like, oh, don't mess with him, because if you say something, he has an answer right back. Like he'll be able to think of something in a second, and then you'd be embarrassed all over again. So a very admirable quality. This Ravenclaw came from a family of Ravenclaws. They were all intellectuals. That was very intimidating for me, because I'm a very like artsy, like free-spirited, bubbly person, and I had a lot of like creative goals that would sound completely absurd to intellectuals. I get it. So I felt that I definitely did not fit in a group, in a family of pure like Ravenclaws, because I felt almost inadequate in comparison. I'd say being in this Ravenclaw-Slytherin relationship, because of our differences, it brought out sides of me that I didn't know existed, certain strengths that I didn't know I had. I guess in conclusion, I'd say I was more of the soulful, optimistic goofball, whereas he was more of a deep-rooted, intellectual go-getter. He was definitely a realist. I'd be more of an idealist. He brought out my grounded side, whereas I brought out his playful side. Would I date another Ravenclaw? Sure. Is it the ideal house that I would want my partner to be? Not really, but it's not a bad one. Now, let me just say that this is one experience I had with one Ravenclaw. You guys may have a completely different experience with a Ravenclaw that you know. Maybe me in the future, I could have a completely different experience with another Ravenclaw. So I'm very curious to know what kind of experiences you guys have had with a Ravenclaw. Just comment below, and don't forget to put down what house you're in so we know which dynamic we're looking at. It's very interesting to talk about these things. It's very fascinating. I know like my sister and her boyfriend are the same. She's a Slytherin and he's a Ravenclaw, and there are very similar differences in the way that these two houses think. Okay, so it wasn't that bad. I did not expect for this video to be as nerve-wracking as it was to film, but I did it. I'm sorry if you guys were like hoping for this really dramatic story. Unfortunately, with a Ravenclaw, I've had mostly good experiences. There have been some bad experiences that I've had with a different house that will remain nameless for now. So if you guys liked this video of me talking about my life correlating with Harry Potter stuff, let me know. Let me know if you guys liked it. Give me a thumbs up. If you're dating a Ravenclaw, then also give me a thumbs up. If you guys haven't subscribed to my channel, I would really love it if you did. If there are any other videos you guys want me to make, again, just leave a comment. Yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Much love, guys.